We're here with Cecil WD6FZA. How you doing?
Great to be here. Got my ready to deliver a message to the wonderful world of listeners in amateur radio.
All right, cool. We're going to talk a little about what you do with the Papa system here in a minute, but you got D-Star and all. We're going to talk about a lot of things. And I met Cecil once we were asked to come out here. I got on D-Star and was able to actually make a contact with Cecil. And I think, Cecil, you're the owner of the Papa system out here, aren't you?
Well, actually, I founded the Papa system about 34 years ago, but it really has turned into the membership really own it. It's the way we have it set up. We're a 501c3 corporation, and it's now, hopefully, will go on forever. That's our plans, anyway.
Yeah. Now, are you mostly just in Southern California, or is it expanding on up into the north some?
Well, the analog is a series of about 17 analog systems, repeaters, that have coverage from below the Mexican border to the Nevada state line. But basically, it started as an analog system, 440 and 220 with one or two repeaters. Over the last 25, 30 years, it's expanded to about 17 analog repeaters. But we've added to the system with IRLP and Echolinks, and but basically it's Southern California repeater system.
So you've got a Mexico repeater into your system?
No, we're right next to in the by Brownfield. We have on Otay we have a repeater system that covers all the way into Ensenada, Mexico.
I got you. Yeah.
So, but basically that's how we started with the analog. But with the onset of D-Star, we're actually a worldwide. The membership is worldwide because D-Star has no limitations. When I was talking to you, Tom, I was using this little device designed and built by one of our Papa members, KI6ZUM. It's basically what we call a D-Star hotspot.
Yeah.
And it's a Raspberry Pi equipped with a radio in there, a UHF radio, that we can talk with a handheld and talk to any place on the planet. It costs about $100 to build this device. And we use it all the time at Hamfest. In fact, when I went to Dayton, I had this device in my backpack, and I was connected to Reflector 12 Alpha.
Oh, that's cool.
To me, amateur radio is continuing education, and that's what the Papa system is all about. We try to encourage new amateurs to get involved and build things. So this was a kit that we primarily built to try to get newer hams that are computer folks to get involved and build their own little hotspots.
So you actually offer this to other hams to buy the parts and build it, right? Or
yeah,
the
absolutely,
modules?
Absolutely. We have what we call the 7021 Papa board that actually just snaps into a Raspberry Pi. And this Raspberry Pi right now has the Papa 721 board and then the radio card that plugs in right on top.
All right, let me ask you a question about this. I'm kind of interested in maybe doing something like this myself. So is this, I guess, UHF, your handy-talkie back to this through like a 440 rig, or it does have to be a D-Star radio?
Yeah, I'd like to. Can I get up?
Sure.
Or is it
sure. No, you can get up. Let me help you here.
I just want to show you something here. It is basically. Hang on.
Well, I didn't see the thing below it here. What is that?
That's the battery.
Oh, that's your battery. Okay, I got you. So do you have to? Yeah.
Actually, if you'll hang on.
Okay, I'll hold this.
What we're going to do is we're going to actually go live here.
You want to make a D-Star contact here for some of the viewers? Okay.
Hang on a second.
All you viewers out there, we're going to make a D-Star contact.
We're just going to get a handheld here.
So you going to be on Reflector 12? Or?
Yeah, on Reflector.
Okay, guys, we're going to be on Reflector 12, and Cecil is going to make a contact.
Yes. Okay. Go tell Jim that we're going to do a contact and turn it on the right channel. Okay. Okay, we're going to get set up here. So what we're going to do is, last time I talked to Tom, I was mobile in North County, San Diego, and I had this device in the back of my car. Now what we're going to do here at the Last Man Standing, I'm going to take 1 or 2 check-ins only just to demonstrate the capabilities.
All right, here we go. This is live, guys.
We're going to wait.
Wait until the proper time when you get through over there. Or
yeah, he's actually talking to someone.
We're gonna be interrupting the K6H station over here, aren't we? Just for a minute or two.
We can continue on.
Sure.
And as soon as we get a break on the other station over there.
So I'm interested in it. So tell me, this antenna, this is for what?
That device right there allows me. You're really. Yeah. I'm talking to you from here to here.
Okay.
So it's a short distance.
Sure.
But if we set this up, let me turn this down.
Yeah.
If I have this situation, this device set up at my home. Mm-hmm. And I have an 8.5 acre grove. So I could walk around the grove with this antenna and talk with a 1/4 watt connected to reflector 12 alpha.
All right, but here's my question. Do you have to have a D-Star radio to talk to this?
Yes, you do. Yes,
okay,
you do.
That's the question.
But they have, that's probably the most expensive part of this device. This device right here is about $100.
Okay, so how does this hook? Okay, I see you're talking from a D-Star radio to this unit. Now, how does this connect to the internet? Now, I see an Ethernet jack, but
no, it's connected through my phone.
You do like a hotspot to your phone.
Wi-Fi through my phone.
Okay, now I got the whole path there.
So it's a lot of fun because it allows you to actually get live on D-Star, be able to communicate with the world, and not have a huge investment in it. And for a lot of people that live in a rural area, they have no way of getting on.
There's no repeaters around close by.
And, of course, if you have access to the Internet, that ties you into worldwide communications, any place on the planet.
Plug that into your Internet, to your home router, set it there in the back window, and you can walk around your yard, and you work this just like you do a D-Star repeater.
Absolutely. I would say that the D-Star repeaters, this actually will work better than the D-Star repeater only because you don't have the problems of RF. Now we introduced D-Star to the world here in Southern California. We had the first D-Star repeater in this area. Mm-hmm. We currently cover Southern California with approximately 14 D-Star repeaters. That again gives you just about handheld coverage from the Mexican border to north of Pismo Beach.
So multiple people, if you had a party at your house and you had 10 hams over here, they all could be working through this.
Absolutely. All you got to do is program. All you have to do is program the right frequency here.
Right.
And they could use this as a repeater.
And then your radio works just like you were on a repeater, right? You
exactly.
use all the same commands and everything,
yes.
pretty much?
What you do here is you basically have the channel program so you can connect to any reflector on the planet. You're not limited. I'm using reflector 12 alpha because that's the San Diego based reflector. Mm-hmm. But it allows you to go into areas, remote areas, where if you have internet, you can use this device. So that is just what the Papa System's all about. This is something that we offer to the members, but on our webpage, we do offer it at a very low price to other amateurs. And it's been a lot of fun to build a device that you can communicate worldwide for very inexpensive is what amateur radio is all about. Again, I say, what is amateur radio? Amateur radio gives anybody the opportunity for continuing education. You could do as little as you want or as much as you want. There is no limit in amateur radio.
Yeah. Well, one of our friends that does a lot with our webcast is Ian over in England, G3ZHI.
I've talked to Ian.
So you've talked to Ian, and he talks very highly of you guys over here in the Papa System. He said, I think he's on it every day.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
what's kind of cute about Ian, he knows exactly where you're at because he's always using Google Earth to zoom in and see where you live.
I think Ian is on the webcast right now. Kathy, look for G3ZHI. He'll be toward the top, isn't that G3ZHI? All right. Well, he may be out for a minute, but I was going to say he knows everything about radio. He knows what's going on anywhere in the world, just about. He's very active. Well,
I got started in amateur radio many years ago. Too many years, but I'll tell you, I have not lost the excitement of it. The Papa system started very basic with a 220 repeater located in the North San Fernando Valley. And it's grown gradually because of the contributions of the members. And my belief is, if you want to be active and you want to learn about repeater systems and D-Star or any aspect of amateur radio, we encourage the membership to join us. So they go up to the hills, they help us install the repeaters, they help us maintain it. So it's really, it's the Papa members that make the Papa system what it is. So, excuse me, we started with a basic repeater, and as it grew, we then added D-Star to it. So just about every site we have has also D-Star capabilities. So it's been very interesting. We were the first ones to introduce. So it's been very interesting. We were the first ones to introduce IRLP in the area. We were one of the first to introduce HF remote, and we had remote bases up on the sites. Of course, the big thing now is D-Star, because just about everybody is going in that direction sooner or later. And the argument is, well, you depend on internet, but when's the last time we've heard the internet fail? If it does fail, we have the capability, full backup of the analog link system that gives us one of the hugest footprints in Southern California.
Well, I'm looking at this. I'm guessing, is that a little Wi-Fi?
Yeah, that's a Wi-Fi
modem there that talks back to your phone, right?
That's exactly right.
It's just plugged into a USB port.
And the other part is, if you're at your home, you just plug into your existing internet.
So let me ask you another question about this. You guys have probably thought about this. It may not be possible, but since you have an Ethernet connection here, why could you not connect this to a computer, or even a computer wireless or some way, and operate it kind of like a dongle? Is that not even in a thoughts today? It can't be done?
Well, no. This is basically has a computer. That's a Raspberry Pi. That is a computer. On top of that, we have the daughter board, or the 721 Papa board, and then on top of that, we have a UHF radio that has this frequency in it. So it's totally self-contained. The only thing you need to provide it at your home is the Ethernet. You don't have to hook it up to an additional computer.
Right.
And it gives you the portability. Yeah. So the portability is the neat thing. You don't need a huge computer or anything. This device can be installed in your automobile without this backpack here.
Yeah. So the name Papa system, that goes back 30 years, 40 years maybe, and the name, tell us what that name stands for again.
Well, we again...
That's going to show how old it is, right?
It's a little scary. I joined the Papa system. Little story there. I joined the Papa system about 34 years ago, and the original name was the Pocket Auto Patch Association. Now, what in the world does the Pocket Auto Patch Association really mean?
Yeah.
So we were one of the first to introduce the capabilities of using your handheld to make telephone calls. So when that novelty wore out, we decided to change it, and all we did was use the acronym part of the Pocket Auto Patch Associations. Turns into Papa.
There are probably a lot of new hams on today that don't even know what an auto patch is. I mean, technology, when the cell phones and everybody got a cell phone, who wants to make a phone call from your HT now, right?
That's correct. But when I was sitting out in the middle of nowhere, because one of our first repeaters was located on Saddle Peak, that looks way down the the Pacific Ocean towards Mexico, and I would go camping below Ensenada, Mexico, and be able to do, with amateur radio and my XT2 license, I could make phone calls 25 years ago or 30 years ago back into California with a handheld.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that's the fun of amateur radio, is to do what nobody else could do.
Oh, hey, back then that was a big thing to do. People look at you, you can make a phone call?
Yeah. Where's the cord?
Yeah, a phone call. I mean,
where's the cord?
Yeah, a phone call. I mean, gee.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, of course, the novelty wore out, and so we just constantly, just recently I sent an email out to the members and listed all of the accomplishments with their help, what we've done over the last 25 years. And, of course, this is the last accomplishment that we're doing, but I'm sure that tomorrow we'll have something else on the platter that allow the memberships to participate in soldering and designing and building product that will find its place in the amateur radio playroom.
About how many members do you have in the PAPA system?
Well, we have probably 40 to 50 international members that support the PAPA system my biggest support, let me finish, 40 to 50 international, or we call out of RF territory, but in Southern California we have about 250 to 300 active members.
Yeah, big group.
Yes, it is. And they're very active in the sense that they're behind the scenes. They help us maintain and, man the system, and of course a lot of them are here helping out for our special event today.
Mm-hmm. I like this. I'm just getting back active on D-Star. I've been kind of off for a year or two, and my interest really came up when we decided to come out here. And I thought I would talk to you guys, and D-Star makes it possible for me just to hook up with you guys out here,
Well, is there a D-Star repeater in your area?
There is. Yes, there is. In fact, we've got a second D-Star repeater now in Memphis.
Well, what you can do is we have tremendous technical nets on any. We answer any question, but primarily it's focused on D-Star, and because D-Star for a lot of users is a little bit complicated, so it gives the user the opportunity to ask questions and get expertise advice. And that the nets are on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock and Thursday night at 8 o'clock. And what you can do is have technical questions that nobody can answer.
And I checked in it last week. I checked in. Of course, it was a little later for us, 10 o'clock in Memphis.
That's right.
Hey, let me go ahead and tell our audience out there to start throwing in some questions. They may have questions for you right here about the PAPA system or D-Star. So if there's any questions out there, guys, for Cecil, please send your questions in. And let me check. Hey, Kathy, we're going to ask her questions and see if there's anything coming up. I don't know if the tablet's working.
It's working fine.
So, Cecil, can you hold that again? Well, you got a lot to hold there, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk to Cecil here. Questions for Cecil. Okay. Cecil, we've got live on our chat room, we've got people commenting right now. So I'm trying to see if there's any questions for you. There's a mixture of things going on right now. People talking about working at different stations, and we got a lot of things going here. Here, KC0OUZ says, where can I purchase the add-on for the Pi?
Okay. What's this called?
KC0OUZ, right there.
KZ0UZ, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. It's available on the PAPA webpage, and you can go to the non-ICOM section of our forum, and there is all the information on ordering it. And I would suggest that if you can, to listen to the technical net, we're going to be announcing some new innovative things that we have that will soon be also offered. Very similar to what we call the Papa 7021 board. It's available for to the general public for $28. And you have to purchase the UHF part. But with $28, the Raspberry Pi and the UHF card, you will have what I'm holding here on my lap. They will give you a hotspot that you can operate any place, and you program your own frequency that you could use in your immediate area.
Here's a question from N5VRP. What does it take to power the device?
Well, you could power it with just I'm using a cell phone. If you want total portability, you can buy a battery for around $30. It'll give you about 24 hours of battery life. Or you could just plug it into a source at your home and use an Ethernet at your home.
It looks like a USB type.
Yeah, it's a USB power. It's 5 volts.
You could power it from probably any little USB power pack or anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Car cigarette lighter plug that goes USB.
Correct.
Yeah. Hey, here's WD6FZA Gordo. Where can you order the 7021 kit? Is that what you're talking about? 7021? Or is that
it's a 7021, and you could order it from the Papa webpage. You can go to the non-ICOM section of the forum, and it's shipped any place in the United States for about $30. But keep in mind that card, you will have to purchase a Raspberry Pi and a UHF card, which we have a total bill of material that shows you where to buy it. But basically, that card is available at Mauser, and that card sells for $49. So you got $40 for the Raspberry Pi. You have $28 for the radio card, which we call the Papa 7021, and then that gives you 3 items that will give you what I have here. You could plug it into your Ethernet card at your Ethernet or your internet connection at your house, and you're good to go. And then you just dial in. We also have what we call a program for the SD card that allows you to program the frequency, and you plug that right into the I don't see if I can hold it. Yes. I have you have to program an SD card that plugs into the Raspberry Pi, but also that is available on the Papa system, so you don't have to write the program. You get that, and we got the D-Star Commander that you download, and that gives you, all you have to do is plug in the frequency for your handheld and your call sign, and you're good to go.
I lost my connection to the tab a minute ago, but one of the questions was, what's the language that you would use, I guess, the best language to use when you're programming Arduino or the Pi? I'm not a programmer, so I'm not sure.
Well, what we've done, because of the complexity of programming the Raspberry Pi to operate a device like we have right now, we have a gentleman that's a Papa member that lives in Colorado Springs that developed the program for the SD card. So basically, any computer, Windows-based computer, you download the program from the Papa system, and it's all Windows-based.
Okay, so you said a word there that kind of turned the light on. I guess you put it on an SD card, and then that SD card goes into plugs into your device here. Cool. SD card, and then that SD card goes into plugs into your device here. Cool.
And all of that is done to program the Raspberry Pi already.
Yeah.
The key things that are missing. So when you get this card or this download for the SD card, it's got a separate little program called the D-Star Commander. The D-Star Commander then asks you a few basic questions. What's your call sign? What's the frequency that you want to program your radio in? and let's see what else. If you want to go Wi-Fi with it, or if you're just going to use the internet. So it's really basic. Usually within 5 to 10 minutes of going through the questions that are on the D-Star Commander, you can get on the air.
Yeah, there was another question earlier. I don't remember the exact question, but it was something about losing power at a repeater site. I don't know if they want to know what problem that causes, or I didn't quite understand the question.
Let me just talk about, because every site is different. But what we've done is again, because of that question, it's a very good question, and I'll be able to answer it exactly what we've done as the PAPA system. Most of our repeater sites, and I say most, not 100% of them, all have generator backup. So in the case of a failure at the site of electricity, we normally have a generator that will run up to about 5 to 7 days that will give us backup electricity for our site. Not only that, but the other thing that we have going at the site is that many of the sites that we have, we provide our own internet, because one of our members owns a data center in the San Diego area. So we're actually using 5.8 microwave dishes to provide internet to the sites.
Are you using something like Ubiquity or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ubiquity is a manufacturer that we're using. We have a 20-foot tower at the data center, and then we have multiple Ubiquity antennas pointing to, this is mostly San Diego, pointing to our various hilltops. And then we daisy chain some of the hilltops in San Diego, which provides the internet. So not only do we have the internet, because the data center has enough fuel to operate if something happens at the data center to operate for at least 2 to 3 weeks. We had a brownout in San Diego about a year ago, but we were one of the few organizations that maintained and had internet to our site, because we were right at the data center and the data center was not affected. So it is, I think, well thought out and well engineered system in Southern California.
Okay, we'll see if there are more questions. My tab lost its connection again. So Kathy will see if there are any questions up here for us. So about how far, what's your longest distance you're running on the Ubiquity, the 5.8?
We have, let's see, we're running approximately 19 miles from the data center, and then we daisy chain it. So not only do we go from the data center to a site, but then from that site to another site. The longest
single link, though, that's what
I would say is about 23 miles. That goes from Woodson. It goes from Mount Woodson to Palomar Mountain.
That's a good distance.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's been pretty bulletproof. It's it really opened up the capabilities of doing a lot of stuff. We started out with analog, and analog, even when it limited, we couldn't really afford to put IRLP at the sites, because the cost for internet at a site, it's a commercial site, could be $65 to $70. But with our own, the internet is donated to the system. The only thing we had to do was pay for the equipment, and that equipment has really come down in price.
Yeah,
it's so we have.
I'm sorry. I'll just say, we're talking about all the high cost of your internet and so forth, but the internet has really made a big change in ham radio.
Absolutely. You'll hear the naysayers say, "Well, you're using internet, and that doesn't count." I will agree to them up to a certain point. There's nothing like making an RF antenna to antenna connection, but why in the world would we not take advantage of the technology there? Because what we're trying to do in amateur radio is to get the youngsters involved, as they're involved in texting, get them involved in amateur radio. If there is an emergency, and if enough planning goes into it, it's the youngsters that have to keep amateur radio continuing to come into it and help it grow. Without the youngsters taking interest to it, it's going to be a dying hobby.
I agree. Kathy, any other questions? No other questions right now? I think we'll go ahead and is there anything else you want to talk about real quick, or anything you want to mention?
I'll just mention this to all of the amateurs that are out there listening to this. The most important thing that just regular amateurs can do is occupy the frequencies. If you don't occupy the frequencies, I'll guarantee you the federal government will figure out a better use to sell the frequencies, and we'll lose them. So if you're out there, you have the capabilities of talking, especially if you hear a new ham out there with a KK call, just issued license. Take 5 minutes of your busy time and welcome them to the wonderful world of amateur radio. Yeah. And if you do that, I'll forever be grateful to you.
I agree with you. I will too. Well, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been nice talking to you. And if you're around, maybe this afternoon we'll get back together again and talk some more.
Sounds good.
Thank you.